It sounds something like the New York street. I don't know. It's like today the air is all static, so
Inspires
the
millions.
static.
Yet the closing chapter of his journey remains one of the most discussed moments in rock history. What made his influence so extraordinary in such a short period of time? And why does every new generation continue to rediscover his recordings with the same sense of wonder? In this documentary, we'll explore the remarkable path that turned a young guitarist into a global icon, the final chapter that left fans reflecting on what might have been, and the legacy that continues to shape music today. Before the sold-out concerts and worldwide recognition, Jimi Hendrix was simply a young musician with an endless curiosity about sound. Growing up in Seattle, he spent countless hours teaching himself guitar, developing his own style through experimentation rather than formal lessons. Music became more than a hobby. It became a language through which he could express ideas that words often couldn't capture. His early years were filled with determination. Hendrix performed wherever opportunities appeared, learning from every stage and every audience. Those experiences gave him confidence, but they also taught him the importance of originality. Instead of following established trends, he searched for sounds that felt entirely his own. But that wasn't the full story. Behind the growing skill was an imagination that constantly looked beyond traditional boundaries. Hendrix viewed the electric guitar not just as an instrument but as a tool capable of producing entirely new musical landscapes. Feedback, distortion, and effects became creative elements rather than accidents, helping him build a sound unlike anything audiences had heard before. Everything changed after he moved to London in 1966. The city's vibrant music scene quickly recognized that something special had arrived. Forming the Jimi Hendrix Experience alongside bassist Noel Redding and drummer Mitch Mitchell, he released songs that immediately stood apart. Tracks like Purple Haze, Hey Joe, and The Wind Cries Mary introduced listeners to a fresh combination of blues, rock, soul, and psychedelic influences. As his reputation grew, so did the excitement surrounding his live performances. Hendrix wasn't simply playing songs, he was creating experiences. Every concert felt different because he embraced spontaneity and trusted his instincts. Audiences came expecting remarkable guitar work, but they often left feeling they had witnessed something much larger than a performance. What happened next changed everything. Major festival appearances elevated Hendrix from rising star to cultural icon. His performance at Woodstock in 1969 remains one of the defining moments in rock history. Through his expressive interpretation of familiar melodies, he demonstrated that music could spark reflection without saying a single word. It became a performance discussed by musicians, historians, and fans for decades. As his success expanded internationally, Hendrix continued pushing himself creatively. Rather than repeating familiar formulas, he experimented with new recording techniques, explored different musical styles, and imagined collaborations that reached beyond traditional rock music. He viewed the recording studio as another creative instrument, constantly searching for sounds that had never been captured before. Few people noticed what this led to. By 1970, Hendrix appeared to be entering another stage of artistic growth. Studio recordings from that period reveal a musician exploring richer arrangements, blending elements of jazz, rhythm, and blues, funk, and rock into fresh musical ideas. Many listeners believe these sessions hinted at an exciting new direction that was only beginning to unfold. Then came the news that surprised fans around the world. In September 1970, Jimi Hendrix passed away while visiting London at the age of 27. The announcement spread rapidly, leaving countless admirers reflecting not only on his remarkable achievements but also on the creative possibilities that remained ahead. Official historical records have documented the events surrounding that period, while discussions over the years have focused primarily on understanding the circumstances with care and respect. But even that wasn't the end of the story. In the years that followed, Hendrix's music reached audiences who had never seen him perform live. Previously unreleased recordings, alternate studio sessions, and restored concert performances offered a deeper look into his creative process. They revealed an artist who combined remarkable spontaneity with careful attention to detail, refining ideas until they matched the vision he imagined. His influence soon extended far beyond classic rock. Guitarists across blues, jazz, heavy metal, pop, alternative music, and countless other genres began studying his techniques. His innovative use of effects, expressive phrasing, and fearless experimentation changed how musicians approached the electric guitar. Many of today's most respected performers continue to describe Hendrix as one of their greatest inspirations. What happened next may be the most meaningful chapter of all. Hendrix's legacy became larger than any single album or concert. He encouraged future generations to embrace creativity without fear of exploring unfamiliar territory. His work reminds artists that true innovation often begins by asking simple questions and daring to search for different answers. Perhaps one of the most overlooked parts of his story is his respect for those who came before him. Hendrix frequently acknowledged the blues musicians whose recordings inspired his own journey. Even while redefining modern guitar playing, he remained connected to the traditions that shape his musical foundation. That balance between honoring history and creating something new became one of his greatest strengths. Today, decades after his final recordings, Jimi Hendrix continues to inspire listeners across the world. His albums remain celebrated, documentaries continue exploring his remarkable career, and young musicians still discover his work with the same excitement felt by audiences in the late 1960s. His recordings have never belonged to a single generation. They continue finding new listeners who connect with the imagination, emotion, and originality within every note. Looking back, the most powerful part of Hendrix's story isn't simply that his career was remarkably brief. It's the extraordinary impact he created within that time. He transformed expectations of what the electric guitar could achieve, encouraged artists to think differently, and left behind music that continues to sound fresh decades later. While many questions about his remarkable journey have been explored throughout history, one fact remains unchanged. Genuine creativity has the rare ability to outlive its own era. Every new listener who presses play becomes part of a story that continues to unfold, ensuring that Jimi Hendrix's voice, vision, and imagination remain as inspiring today as they were when the world first heard them.